Question for all the local Iowa, Lounsville, South Carolina farmers or any farmer anywhere that knows what they're doing. We're trying to grow fruit trees. Now, here we're trying to plant and grow things for the first time ever, and generally speaking, anytime we try to do that, we kill it because we have no idea what we're doing. And we spent a lot of time planting these 7 fruit trees, and I would love some advice. So this fruit tree is a pear, and it's working out really great. It seems to be doing just fine. If you look on the very tip, I think that looks okay. I don't really know what I'm looking for, but I figured new leaves would be the first thing to look at to make sure they're somewhat healthy, making sure that they're doing quite well. And this tree looks to be doing fine. But what we did when we planted this tree is we were concerned that the dirt would be too hard, so it would just smother the tree. And so what we did is we dug the hole. All these holes are 36 inches by 36 inches, and each hole is the depth of the pot that it was in. Because all of them are pretty much the same size pot, and they said to do it twice as large as the pot, so I went ahead and did 36 by 36 square. And but when we refilled the hole, instead of just going with just the straight dirt, we mixed this one half and half with compost that we had made. And this tree seems to be doing fine. Okay, now these two are plum trees. Now all the rest of the trees are planted, same concept, kind of 50-50, with a vegetable and fruit potting mix, I think is what it was. And again, I think it all works out, but even still, like when you try to water these, the water just kind of, it sinks in, but just very slowly. It doesn't really go in quickly. And you'll notice, like right in here, the water goes in very quickly. Right here, not so much. And so what we did, let me back up. So what we did is we planted the trees, and for the first probably 7 days, we watered them daily. Now, first day they took obviously the first watering, they took a lot of water. They took water very well. But after that, we kind of just watered it until it started to like puddle, and then we stopped. And then now, since it's been 7 days, I've read somewhere, said, okay, water them for 7 days and then stop. And then I think it's twice a week. And we're going to do that. But this pair, both plum trees, have started getting yellow leaves. And then if you shake the tree, some of those yellow leaves are like falling off. So I think that's not a good thing. I don't think you want the leaves to be falling off, or turning yellow. So I'm not sure what's going on with this tree. And again, this is the plum. All these tags also said, full sun, 6 to 8 hours a day, and or full sun or whatever. So all of these are in full sun. This one, the same thing. Now this one actually is looking a little better since I came out here this morning. Some of the leaves that were kind of yellowish are now doing a lot better. But this one, again, I don't know. And by the way, anytime you see like all these stuff eating on these leaves, I think it was like that when we bought it. I think when we brought them home, they were already kind of eaten up on certain limbs. Okay, so those seem to be, that's my first concern, is the yellow. Now, these are Elberton peach trees, and these seem to be doing really well. I don't know if this is actually a fruit bud. I don't know what that is. Again, we don't really know what we're doing. But the tips of these trees seem to be doing fairly well. Now I've read somewhere that when the leaves are squishing up like that, that means it's trying to not get a lot of sun because it doesn't have enough water. And I don't know. I thought I was maybe watering it too much. Does this mean more water? I don't know. Now this one's got a lot of these little, I guess, buds all over it, and this seems to be doing it very, very well. Same thing though, like the leaves are kind of squishing up, so I don't know what that means. It needs more water. Another thing is, we bought fruit tree fertilizer, but we didn't put any in it at first. Maybe that's a mistake. Maybe that was another mistake. Maybe we should go ahead and fertilize them. I don't know. And finally, 2 apple trees. Now the apple trees, I don't think they're doing so hot. Look at the blooms or whatever. Or maybe this is normal. The big anybody that is local will remember last few days of last week we had a bunch of crazy wind. It blew all the petals off here. But look up here. See, that doesn't look like it's doing so great. But I don't know if it's doing that not so great because of lack of water or because of lack or too much water. But that doesn't seem too good. Do I need to water? I just don't want to overwater them. Do I need to water some more? I'm okay with that. This one, doing a little better, but still not so hot. Just got a new bud here, but I don't know. They don't seem to be doing so great. So the question I guess I have for all the local farmers is, how do you know when to water a tree? Is it when the leaves are maybe coming in? Is it when they're turning brown? Is it maybe like this right here? Like I'm noticing that this flower seems to be doing okay. But look at these. Like, does that mean too much water? Does that mean the roots can't breathe? I've heard of that. I don't know what that means. Does it mean it needs fertilizer? That it needs food? I don't know. So, see, that seems to be okay. But when you get up here on the top of this stem, it doesn't look so good. All right, well, that's my question. We have 7 fruit trees here. I water them once a day, every day, for 7 days after planting them. And now, these 2 peach seem to be fine. That apple tree is questionable. I'm not sure if that's okay or not. But the pear tree is fine. Pear tree is doing great. And the plum trees are just, the leaves are turning yellow and falling off. So I don't know. Fertilizer, more water, less water. What do you guys think? Okay, another question before we end this video. These are raised bed potting mix, and it seems like right here, this is kind of moist, but not really sticking together moist, right? So it's not that moist because I'm not really watering this side of the bed. But over here, where we have things growing, it's very wet. It's very wet. So how often should you water your plants here in this area? Iowa, Lounsville. Like these are 2 brand new potato plants. I don't know what this is. All 3 of these self-seeded in our compost bin accidentally, and that is an onion we pulled from our kitchen that just sprouted up. So I just planted it and see what happened. So I don't know what this is. And those 2 are potato plants. How often should I water them? Daily? Every other day? Is it different per plant? I don't know. And maybe one more final question. So these are our seed potatoes, and I'm not sure how deep they're supposed to be. So I just kind of planted them with the seeds somewhat close to the top. And then I just keep it really wet. Like that's the potato right there on top. Is that too close? Do I need that deeper? Is that a problem? I don't know. This we keep, pretty wet all over. But even still, like, that's wet. It's moist. It's kind of damp. I would say damp. It's not even moist. Should I soak this bed to start these potatoes? Like, should it be like really wet? Because this stuff drains really well. I don't know. Possibly one more question. So we bought these. They did great for a day or two, and then they all died. Are we overwatering them? Now, this bed is real wet. Does these maybe not need a lot of water? These we pulled from the back of the property, and they're doing good, except they're ugly, ugly flowers. They just flop around. But they do fine. When we ignore these, they do great. Those were on sale. Maybe that's why they were on sale, because they knew they were going to die or something.